consent is prohibited. This telecast is copyrighted by the NCAA for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any picture, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NCAA consent is prohibited.
Hello and welcome to Panzer Athletic Center on the campus of Montclair State University, and welcome to the 2025 Men's Basketball NJAC Final. March continues on the Red Hawk Sports Network, and we are live from Panzer Athletic Center on the campus of Montclair State University. Welcome to the Division III Men's Basketball NCAA Tournament, and tonight a matchup between the Montclair State Red Hawks, the NJAC champions, and the Utica Pioneers, the Empire 8 champions. Good evening, everyone. CJ Staniak alongside Luke Sirianni. Luke, the last time we were in this building back February 28th. Now the calendar has flipped, and it is time for madness.
Oh, man, we've had quite the run here, CJ. A lot of basketball to go around, 3 games in a row now, and for the men's team, they did secure the NJAC title here, but their dance continues in March. It's great. Yeah,
absolutely. Both the Montclair State men's and women's basketball teams sweeping the NJAC this season. Both the basketball programs have earned a bid to the national tournament, and the teams got to watch and react to the selection show on Monday. It was a very cool moment for both of these teams to kind of reflect and celebrate.
Host of these 2 games is Montclair State. Regular season champions of the NJAC and tournament title thanks to an overtime win over.
The college career goes by really fast.
Yeah, absolutely, especially for these teams who nobody in the program has been part of these championship teams aside from Coach Karen Harvey on the women's basketball team. So very cool and a first-time moment for all of these teams. Let's take a peek at the Red Hawk brackets this weekend. So the winner of tonight's game will play the winner of the previous game, which, of course, Western New England. They defeated Hamilton, and they'll be right back here tomorrow evening in the round of 32. And the winner of that will head to the Sweet 16 the following weekend. So much exciting stuff here this weekend, today and tomorrow. So much basketball to be played and so much to be figured out. Now, the women's side, Montclair State in the midst of their first-round game against Christopher Newport right now. Catholic and SUNY Geneseo set for the nightcap. Those victors will duke it out tomorrow as well for a trip to the round of 16. And we can take a look now at the live score. Montclair State down in the nation's capital, and right now, through 3 quarters, they do lead it over Christopher Newport. So quite exciting stuff right there, and what would be an upset victory just would be huge for the Red Hawks.
Yeah, and there's, fourth quarter is about to tip off. This group of women right now has been incredible. So far, Alyssa Craigwell, 12 points, and Vero with 11. The 2 that have really been leading the team all year long, CJ, just remain consistent in big moments.
Absolutely, and of course this building once again will be packed. I feel like we talk about it every time we're in here. A very exciting time for Montclair State. They have not lost a home game since January 8th. This building will be packed, but for anybody that wasn't able to get in today, there was some confusion with the tickets. Have no fear, because 1908 Pub will be hosting another watch party for the game today. Get down there, enjoy some food, enjoy some drinks, and enjoy some Montclair State versus Utica basketball.
Yeah, shout out to them. They had a really nice watch party last time. Our guy Parker Swift was front row. I hope he maybe pops out again. We'll see, but it's great. There's watch parties on campus. People can get together and enjoy some hoops.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, as we get closer to tip, it's time to find out how these teams got here, Luke.
Yeah, so starting off with the Montclair State Red Hawks, they took down TCNJ on Tuesday, February 25th, which booked their ticket to the NJAC final. They won it very comfortably, myself and you. That was one of our 3 games together we had in a row. And we know how that went. A 91-85 overtime win to secure the NJAC title. That's how their regular season ended, giving them the automatic bid to this tournament. We could talk about that game on and on. We spoke a lot about it on our broadcast. It lived up to the hype, and just the way that they won that title for the first time since 2003. It means so much to them. But now you know, something else bigger is on their minds.
Yeah, absolutely. And also talk about the Pioneers as well. Now the back-to-back champions of the Empire 8 Conference. Talk a little bit about their trip as they now make their third straight appearance here in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, for sure. They took 3 huge wins in the Empire 8 Conference tournament, winning 3 straight games to earn their bid here. Obviously, they don't get to host, but the fact that you get to enter this tournament with the best D3 schools in the country is huge. Earning home court advantage all the way through in their conference, Utica had it easy, beating the 7-seed Houston University by 12, the 3-seed Nazareth by 12, and then taking down the 4-seed SUNY Poly 89-76 to get them to this game. And you see the bracket here for the Empire 8 tournament. I mean, they fought, and now they extend their lead to 10 in a row, which you know something about.
Yeah, so the Pioneers, they now march into Montclair with a win streak up to double digits. We have to go all the way back to the end of January. It's been a terrific 10-game stretch, and let's go through some of the numbers as well. 84 points per game. They're giving up under 70 on average. They're shooting over 50% from the field over that span, and really not a team that takes a ton of threes, but they have been better than usual during the month of February. 7 regular season games, and then the 3 conference tournament victory wins will take us into tonight, where they look to make it 11 with their season on the line now. Well, Luke, it's been a while since the out-of-conference portion of the season, but it now becomes relevant the rest of the way.
Yeah, both of these teams have a strong record outside of their conference play, and their numbers are totally similar if you put them side by side. Let's take a look here. The records, 5-2, 6-3. They match up. Montclair State matches up really well point-wise, averaging 89 points per game to Utica's 76. Both teams have a strong field goal percentage. The three-point shot as well. Utica, believe it or not, like to take threes more than Montclair, and they have a better conversion rate from behind the arc. And then average turnovers. This is something that Montclair has really struggled with, even though they're NJAC champions. It's been their major concern throughout the year. 14.6 average turnovers to the Pioneers, 10.8. And if I could look at one thing tonight to advance to tomorrow night for the Redhawks, lower those turnovers if you could.
Yeah, another thing I want to highlight with the out-of-conference portion, both of these teams did have some tough opponents. A couple to highlight, Utica lost to Hamilton College, who you just saw in the last round of the NCAA tournament, the previous game leading up to this one. That's a game that they lost, so that's a nationally qualified team. And then also for Montclair State, we mentioned it last broadcast, they lost to the #1 team in the country in Wesleyan back in the beginning of the season. They lost to them by 3 points in their 3rd game of the season. So it's going to be tough. Obviously, in the beginning of the season, you don't know how these things shake up. You don't know how these teams really match up against each other, but they definitely are battle-tested. And as we mentioned, the Montclair State women's team in the middle of their first-round matchup versus Christopher Newport. We do want to give you a score there. So 49-40, Montclair State leads it at the moment with 8 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. And wow, Luke, so you look and nearly a double-digit lead. It was double digits at one point here in the second half. And who knows, if they're able to hang on and move on to the next round, could be a successful weekend down in the nation's capital.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a nail-biter for these last couple of minutes. I think we saw 8 minutes left on the clock. So for the Redhawks, they played really strong defense in the NJAC finals. Lock up on defense and, take smart shots, and I think it could be moving on to tomorrow's round.
Utica and Montclair State not too far apart, but these teams do have a very limited history against one another. Now, just the 3rd ever meeting following a home-and-home back in 2016 and 2017. The Redhawks did sweep the series in 2 low-scoring affairs. Round 3, I think we'll see some more points on the board from either team, Luke.
To your point, don't worry about the past, because you said it. They haven't played many times. Today's going to be their 3rd matchup, and for the Redhawks, you're at home. You're playing against a very strong team, though, that won 10 straight. So I wouldn't take this game so lightly. Yeah,
and one of these coaches was here. That is the Utica College coach, Sean Coffey, now in his 9th season. That home-and-home took place in his 1st and 2nd seasons with the program. However, Coach Justin Potts from Montclair State was not here, got to the program. Now he is in his 6th season for Montclair State, so unable to have any experience against either one of these teams. Luke, it is survive and advance. Give me your X factors if these teams want to be playing tomorrow.
Yeah, so I'll start with the home team here, Montclair State. No tricks. I'm looking at Jacob Morales. Are you surprised? I'm not. He led the Redhawks in both of the NJAC semifinals and the final round, and I know he'll come up big today. Let's take a look at it. 19.7 points per game, shooting almost 50% from 3, which is absolutely insane. For the Pioneers, I got my eye on Dayon Thompson. currently the leading scorer this season for Utica, averaging 16 a game. And look out for these two to battle it all night. I mean, there's really no surprises here. I would argue Jacob Morales' numbers are way better, but for Thompson as well, you know he's going to come up big in this NJAC game.
Yeah, speaking of both of these guys, I mean, Jacob Morales, first of all, you have to talk about him. Through the NJAC tournament, 29 points per game. And then on the other side, you mentioned Dayon Thompson, all-conference first-team selection, double digits in 24 of 28 games this season, and also came through in his conference tournament, tied for the team lead with 18 points, and the Empire 8 final. We will pause for the national anthem. This building buzzing once again. Last time around, it was the NJAC tournament, now the NCAA tournament. A very exciting evening ahead of us. Thanks so much for being with us on the Red Hawk Sports Network and on NCAA.com. Luke, a big discrepancy in this game is going to be size. Utica has the size advantage, and Montclair once again at a disadvantage. This is not unfamiliar to them, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure, big time. For Utica, Liam Teague standing at 6'7". You have Devin Finn, 6'6", and Iggy Ezwoba with some size as well. This team is coming big and ready to play, and my goodness, Montclair have some size, but not like the Pioneers do.
Yeah, but this is not unfamiliar territory for them. You look back to the NJAC tournament, they were outsized and should have been out-rebounded against both the College of New Jersey as well as the Ramapo Roadrunners. Both of those teams featuring players much taller than them, especially TCNJ, who had 6 players over 6'7", yet somehow they were able to work down in the paint, maybe attack out at the three-point line, box out correctly, but they do not let it become a disadvantage for them.
Yeah, I agree, and I think for Coach Potts, he's going to go to guys on the bench like Grant Holbrook, Kunga Saring, guys that match up well in terms of height versus the big men on this team. It's going to be difficult, though.
Yeah, the starting lineups you see, there is Kieran Flanagan, the 5th-year point guard for Montclair State. The intro's completed here. Some time for the starting lineups for Montclair State. Miles Primus, Kieran Flanagan, Jacob Morales, Mike Jackson, and Cabrian Goss. For the Utica Pioneers, Hagan Foley, Davion Thompson, Jordan Kane, Damian Call, as well as Devin Flynn. So nothing too different in these starting lineups. And you mentioned it, Teague is also someone to watch out for Utica. And that's someone who off the bench had a ton of success in the tournament, in the conference tournament, that is, averaged 17 points per game, 8.6 rebounds, 2.3 blocks in the tournament. So also, you know, both of these teams willing to go to their bench, and they have contributors for both.
Yeah, and you're right, for both teams, deep bench, and expect both of these coaches to rotate a little bit. Also, again, winner is going to play tomorrow night, as you mentioned. You want to make sure that you're not coming in gassed off a back-to-back, regardless of who wins. So, right, managing minutes and working in those subs is going to be crucial today.
And now we line up. Utica ready, Montclair State ready. Here in the first round of the NCAA tournament. 64 teams start the field. After tonight, there will be 32. And marches underway from Panzer Athletic Center. Right away, Utica will attack the rim. It was Jordan Kane, and he misses the mark. So wasting no time, the Pioneers. Now Cabrian Goss from Montclair State, and he delivers. A 3-ball to get us started.
What a quick start we've had here. Cabrian Goss looks like he's developing that 3-point shot, which we haven't seen until playoff time. But what a start here for Montclair.
Right away, the Pioneers willing to play that quick game again. Inside, it's Damian Call, the Empire 8 tournament MVP with a deuce.
Look at that, just getting down the court at lightning speed to respond to that 3-pointer. We're due for a good one.
Mike Jackson gets it to Cabrian Goss. Back to Jackson. And on to Jacob Morales. Jackson and Morales, 2-man game up top. Once again, Goss. And he's got 6 to shoot. There's Jacob Morales. We talked about him in the pregame. Goss, he wants another 3. And it's off the mark. Fight for the loose ball. It'll go out of bounds and belong to the Redhawks. Nice work on the offensive glass.
Cabrian Goss almost went 2 for 2 from 3. And man, I mean, what a start that would have been, but well done for the Redhawks to fight. They're not going to keep possession, but right now showing high effort, and you see Coach Potts with positive reactions from the sideline.
So the call was overturned. They will give it to Utica instead. Montclair State will feature this full court press all game long. And it will only intensify as everyone gets more tired. Damian Call feeds it. There's Devin Flynn, the big man inside. He's working on Jacob Morales. Lost it down at his feet. He's doubled. He kicks it out. Hagan Foley, guarded by Kieran Flanagan. Foley with 4 on the shot clock. An awkward 3. It goes down. Hagan Foley, a tough shot.
Awkward jump shot is an understatement there.
Mike Jackson wants the 3. Rebound taken by Kieran Flanagan. We'll have a kicked ball. Flanagan was trying to get it back up to the top of the key. We'll have a whistle.
On that last play, well done from Jacob Morales to grab that offensive rebound. And we talked about the size that Utica has, but if guys outside of the tallest men on this team could come up big on the offensive front like that, they're going to stack up more possessions coming forward.
So 20 again to shoot. Montclair State, this is their first appearance in the national tournament in 2 years. And the time before that was back in 2003. Inside, it's Primus, no good.
Looks like Devin Flynn did his homework there. We know Primus has a dunk that he can get up in the air, but I think they were ready for it.
Jordan Kane, he goes up and draws the foul. That'll be attributed to Miles Primus, his first and the first of the game.
So first 2 free throws coming up here, and for Jordan Kane, freshman guard from Syracuse, New York, just averaging a little bit over 6 points per game. And if I could compare him to the Red Hawk team, it's almost like the Cabrian Goss of Utica. A freshman that's been a standout, has earned a starting spot on this team. 2 teams that have won their conference, and again, just for a couple first years to be able to crack the starting 5 of either of these teams is beyond impressive.
Jordan Kane, over the last 2 games of the conference tournament, averaged 13.5 points. So the freshman getting more and more comfortable. And the guard out of Syracuse splits the pair. Flanagan around a screen from Morales. Up top, one more for Goss. Goss, the strong drive. Jackson's going to get called for an offensive foul. He bodied up, and he knew it.
Yeah, I think that's the right call there. Jackson a little bit too quick working his way on the inside, and I think just that contact to the lower chin is going to be an easy call.
A little bit of a struggle to inbound it, but the Pioneers were able to push it ahead. It's Dayon Thompson. It's Foley once again. And now Thompson again, around the screen, fires from 3, it's no good. And now we'll have a defensive foul. It's going to go on Devin Flynn.
A lot of whistles going early on here, but right now for the Red Hawks, they just need a get into a rhythm of things. Only 1 3 so far in the first few possessions, and got to work inside. Try to attack that paint a little bit. I know on size you're not matched up perfectly, but I don't know. Try something inside that arc.
Some substitutions in the game for the Red Hawks. Quantavious Rogers as well as Christian Sivas. Montclair State pretty usually the first ones to go to their bench, but this time Utica matching them as they'll bring in Liam Teague.
And I like the substitute to bring in Ahmad Robertson. One of the guys that provides such a great spark off the bench. I want to see what he provides.
Robertson, the 6th man on this team, 9 games in double digits this season. Foley is working on Morales. Can't seem to free himself. Only 10 on the shot clock here. Foley. He pumps, turns around. He's got a Kane for 3, and he got it. Jordan Kane at the end of the shot clock.
Nice pass there from Foley. Got the attention drawn to him and then found Jordan Kane wide open.
Flanagan wants a deep 3. He connects. We've seen him start to shoot more and more as the season has drawn on, and Kieran Flanagan a big-time 3 to match the last possession for the Pioneers.
Him and Goss, CJ, those guys did not really have a three-point shot until as of late. At least they didn't take as many threes. They're getting real comfortable.
Kane, the drive on Flanagan, no good. And he'll get called for a loose ball foul as well.
Yep, I love the hustle there from Jordan Kane, but extending that arm is going to be really easy to see, and Morales knew it right away. So did Kane, but got to give the freshman props right now. He's been all over the court, battling head-to-head with Cabrian Goss, and that 3 we saw from Kieran Flanagan, just inches behind the line, and we know him as that interior guy that likes to drive to the hoop, go for easy 2s, but again, I don't know what sparked in Kieran Flanagan's graduate season. All of a sudden, though, that three-point shot has been absolutely developed and improved tremendously.
As you see, the Kane 3 there at the end of the shot clock, and they have had success so far, the Pioneers. They found open looks, and especially towards the end of the shot clock, they're kind of uncharacteristic on a breakdown from Montclair State.
Yeah, they're able to isolate a couple players and then find an open one. That's what we saw on that Kane shot. Right now, though, it's been a three-point competition a little bit, I would say. Utica 2 for 3 from behind the arc, and then for the Red Hawks 2 for 4. It's funny because we talked about in the pregame, both teams like to shoot deep threes, but again, with Utica's size, I'm surprised they're not attacking the paint much more. But hey, you have you're up 6-9 right now, 3-point lead on the Red Hawks. I guess don't change anything if it's still working out.
And to follow up as a question for that, do you think that's a reason now Montclair State, 4 of their 5 first shot attempts have been from the 3-point arc? Do you think they're a little hesitant to attack the paint so early on?
I think so too. I think that's a big factor. I think man-to-man, they don't match up as well down low, which is maybe a different coaching plan from Coach Potts. I agree with that. That could be a big factor, but at some point, that three-point shot's not going to keep falling, and you're going to have to pivot to the interior offensive attack.
Coming out of the timeout, the Pioneers lead it by 3. Montclair State, don't want to say accustomed to, but the last couple of games, they've had their fair share of deficits in the first couple of minutes. They've been able to work their way back in every single outing, though. See how they respond now out of the first time out of the game. Morales in the corner. He's been quiet early on the first 4.5 minutes. Now he wants a 3. Jacob Morales will knock it down. And there's the all-conference first-team selection.
You need to get him going. This is the guy that led the team with 28 points in the NJAC final versus Ramapo, and just an absolute weapon on the offense.
So Montclair State has knotted it up at 9. For Morales, three-pointer number 106 on the season, a school record. Ripped away by Quante Rogers. Gets it to Ryan Castles. Ryan Castles up fresh off the bench. He wants a 3, no good.
And like I said before, I mean, the three-point shot, it has been working, but I said if you could miss a couple more, I would say try to attack the paint and try to switch it up a little bit. It's a little predictable right now for the Pioneers on defense.
Liam Teague going to work. His hook shot off the back iron.
Awesome defense there from Morales.
Sivas pushing the pace. He goes right at Teague. The shot is no good. Good defense that time. Pioneers working out at the perimeter. Now it's a drive from Foley. Smooth through the lane and with the left hand.
Yeah, that was a clean move, CJ. Faked Morales to the right and then ended up going left to put it up for the deuce. Awesome play.
Montclair State has worked pretty methodically on their offensive possession so far. It's going to be Sivas, another tough drive, and once again, off the mark. This Pioneers team, no one true point guard. They all spread the ball very well. They pass very well. And that is what creates a lot of their offense as Foley gets right around Rogers and loose change on the rim.
Man, Foley is dangerous right now. Didn't get the roll on that one, but over 15 points per game, and he is showing off right now. Real shifty on the inside.
Just couldn't get the finish. You're right, Foley is attacking those ISO situations. Sivas, nice pass to Castles. Drives baseline. Robertson gets up and gets two.
Generous pass there from Castles. Very unselfish of him. And Roberts cutting to the hoop right away. He didn't wait for the pass. He was already one step ahead.
Pioneers moving quickly. It's Foley. This time he finishes it on the layup.
We saw the graphic in the pregame. These two teams score a ton of points, and right now looking like a high-scoring game on the horizon.
Sivas is fouled. Hagen Foley already up to 7 points. Somebody who struggled a little bit in the Empire 8 tournament. Just averaged 8.7 points per game. For reference, throughout the whole season, he's at 15.3. So looking to get some of that swagger back.
Going to see a clean 5 substitution here for Montclair State. This is something that Coach Potts had early on in the season. He would change 5 at a time. I haven't seen it, though, before today since the first or second home game. So an interesting decision there. But again, managing those minutes, really important.
Grant Holbrook is in the game for the first time. He got it to Goss. Now it's Mike Jackson. Holbrook, he wants a 3. Rebounded by Jackson. Jackson has attacked the offensive glass his last 5 games or so for Montclair State. Primus underneath the basket. Jackson, it's a 3. And again, a really good defensive possession. The Pioneers locking all windows and doors.
Especially guarding that 3 ball close.
That shot no good from Dayon Thompson. It's Jackson. Another one from the wing. Same spot as last time. Couldn't get it done. It's an early 13-11 lead here. Swung to the corner. There's Ryan McCardle. And he gets it down low where Thompson will draw the foul.
Yeah, so although it's only a 2-point game right now, Montclair, I think it's time to maybe pivot away from that 3-point shot. In terms of Grant Holbrook, that was a guy I predicted would see a lot of time today. He only played 7 minutes versus Ramapo in the NJAC final, but again, the size is an issue, and Holbrook is the tallest player aside Bakunga Saring. So a lot of subs to go around.
So Montclair State, 4 of 13 from the field, Luke. 3 of 9 from 3, just a very uncharacteristic start. I don't know if there's a ton of energy from that offense right now. They just can't seem to get those open looks, and when they do find them, they can't connect.
Yeah, it seems like they're lacking a little bit from the deep shot, the 3-point line. But it's gonna be tough. I think again, out of this timeout, I want to see them attack the paint a little more. That Castles to Robertson connection is something that I think they could utilize if they could execute it right like they did just before.
Yeah, they need to certainly start to figure something out. It's another full timeout here as these teams continue to talk it over. And so far for Utica, I feel as though that on the other side of things, they have looked very, very comfortable on offense. I don't know if that's a size thing. One thing from them that they have done all year is pass the ball really well, but these ISO situations as well, as they have been able to find opportunities and they have been able to find open baskets by breaking down defenders.
Yeah, they're really careful with how they move on offense, and they've shown it. Couple plays, that one I go back to over and over is that Jordan Kane open 3. they were able to draw attention off of him to give him that ball wide open, and it's got to continue. Let's see if the Redhawks could get back into this one and take a lead.
Foley from underneath the basket. It's a give and go off the inbound. Kunga Sering is in the game and guarding him. So Montclair State trying to bring some size. Sering, the 6'7" forward, and he is locking up Foley. A travel is called.
And that is how you start defense. And now we see Kunga Sering in, and another player that's going to have to become a big factor today. And right now, solid defense to cause that traveling violation.
Montclair State still only trails by 2, despite the woes that they have had early on in this one. Cabry and Goss pull up mid-range. Rebounded by Sering. And he throws it away.
And that's why he's into the game, CJ. Nice rebound from Sering. He was under the hoop, barely got that board, but again, now the Redhawks 1 for their last 8 from the field.
They do retain possession here. Flanagan, pick and roll with Sering. He kicks to the corner. Goss, another 3 for him. It's long. And then a tie-up underneath the rim, and Montclair State continues to stay aggressive. Kieran Flanagan, I believe, was part of the tie-up. And so possession arrow will stay with Montclair State.
Yeah, it seems like it's almost second nature at this point to chuck up a 3. Just hold that ball a little bit. I feel like they're going too fast on offense here. Just it seems like they're desperate for points.
Goss to Flanagan. Tried to get it to Jackson underneath. It is picked off.
That was a great look, but I think maybe that's why they're not attacking the interior. They tried that backdoor cut, which worked earlier, but not that time.
Foley and Sering again. He kicks it up top. There's McCardle, a 3. And the rebound somehow ends up with the Redhawks.
A little bit of a volleyball tap there from Miles Primus.
And an offensive foul now on Primus. He hit the deck. Can't believe the call, but he will be given his second.
I think they have a point there. Maybe I thought Primus maybe got it pushed a little bit, but again, both of these teams are working so fast it is difficult to see what really happens. And now we see Jacob Morales back into the game. I want to see him get the ball in his hands a little more. Just 1 attempt so far here in the first half.
Just 1 shot in 7 minutes. Does have 4 rebounds, which leads everybody. (11-13) still our score. It's Damian Call. He goes right over Flanagan and gets the deuce. Three-minute scoreless drought here for the Redhawks. Morales trying to put an end to it. It's rebounded by Rogers, and he follows through for the bucket.
Wow, Quante timed that one perfectly, just running his way into the hoop and timed his jump well, put it right back up. That is how you play basketball until the very end. Well done.
It's Flynn, puts it up, no good. Another rebound from Rogers. Nice defensive stand from Montclair State. They can tie it up or even take the lead.
Morales has showed up really well on defense so far, and that's something that I didn't really expect to see early on here, but he's come up big in certain moments.
They've tasked him with this center role today. It's Henry Myers in the corner for 3. We will have a foul. The ball will stay with Montclair State. Dayon Thompson with a little bit of a shove on Morales.
A lot of frustration fouls coming from the Pioneers, and I think that's due to Montclair's aggressive offensive attack, and they are willing to fight for that rebound and the ball at all times. And looks like Utica, I would say, is getting a little frustrated on defense.
See if Montclair State can take advantage. Morales, tough through the lane. He spins, puts it up, and puts it in.
Makes it look so easy every time.
And that one's going to be given to Goss.
It's a tough one to call, but crowd's not happy.
That's Goss's second. So he'll have to come off the floor. The two Montclair State freshman starters in a little bit of foul trouble early.
Yeah, worst case scenario, those two are so important for this starting five, and now they're gonna have to persevere with bench pieces.
Call and Myers working from the logo. Call goes all the way to the rack. No good, but a foul gonna be given to Myers. Another block. These fouls piling on from Montclair State. That's their 6th.
Coach Potts still furious about that previous play. And right now, I think a lot of his players are in some foul trouble. It's not what you want here. We're only halfway through the first half. Ton of basketball left to play, and you see him still questioning that far call on the other end. His two freshman starters now with 2 fouls apiece.
Damian Call to the line. He knocks down the first. Call a 63% free throw shooter. We mentioned the Empire 8 tournament MVP, but he did foul out in 19 minutes in the conference championship. When he is on the floor, he is a difference maker. You'll see him hit it both. Eight and a half to go here in the first half. Kieran Flanagan around the screen and all the way to the rack.
That's more of the Kieran Flanagan I know. He loves to do that same exact move, pump fake the three, and then drive to the basket for a layup.
They try the long pass to beat the press. It got through to Kane, and they'll slow it down. Foley and Call. It's Call swinging it up top. It's Kane, one more. And what a response as Kane picks it off, drives in on Robertson and lays it in. An aggressive play from Jordan Kane.
Yeah, awesome user lurk there for the interception. Very wise by Robertson as well to just accept the turnover and not foul. You saw him try to go in for the block, but pulled back last minute, and that was a wise play to avoid the and one.
Jackson, quick trigger. The struggles continue for Montclair State. Thompson with 10. He wants a deep three. Rebound to Flanagan.
Brave look there from Thompson. No points as the Pioneers' leading scorer on the season. He's someone that needs to get it going soon.
Flanagan getting to the post. Morales trying to go over Kane, and he puts it up, and he gets it done.
And not much you could do there. Awesome defense from the Pioneers.
Locked at 19 here. Now the crowd's starting to pick things up a little bit. A hard screen, Jackson hits the floor as well as Call. Driving in, laying it in is Thompson, but an offensive foul is called.
A lot of contact off the ball as well. Jackson and Damian Call collision with a little bit of a collision there. And maybe just a timeout for a deep breath. I'll tell you what, we're all tied at 19, as you mentioned. I think the Redhawks dealt with a lot of stuff, but they managed through their bench.
We'll be right back after this.
Responsibility is being accountable for your words and actions, first and foremost. It also is an obligation to be a positive influence in the communities around you. Being in a D3 program, you're going to have lots of different opportunities. You're not just an athlete, you're also involved in student life. Your academics are extremely important. We give a lot of our student athletes responsibilities right from the start by giving them leadership opportunities, by having them engage in the community, be a positive influence. That's being a responsible person.
Back now at Panzer Athletic Center, Luke, a tied game here. The Montclair State Redhawks and the Utica Pioneers interlocked at 19. Still feels like both of these teams are figuring out what they have to do to beat each other.
A lot of moving pieces, I agree with you. Montclair has had to resort to their bench more than they probably would have liked here in the first half due to the foul trouble. But a couple things I've seen. First of all, Redhawks are 3 for their last 4. They've gotten hot in the right moments, and the last little stretch that they've had has been really solid. Also, 6 offensive rebounds. Morales came up big, Quante Rogers came up big, and a couple other guys. Robertson had a nice rebound. They are working so hard off the ball, but again, leading in turnovers, 5 to the Pioneers 3. The Redhawks got to try to cut that out just a little bit more.
You mentioned it, Montclair State using their bench a little bit more. 12 Redhawks have already seen the floor today, and that really just goes into what Coach Potts likes to do. He likes to figure out what's working in the first half, and so far I don't know if we found that successful combination. It still feels like everybody's trying to find their rhythm.
There's not many close games either that you see even 12 players total into the game for Coach Potts, so you're right. That just shows the kind of game we've had so far here. And again, just managing these guys. If they win, they play tomorrow night. You don't want your best players out there the entire time, just in case you win today.
6.5 minutes to go here in the first half. And Mike Jackson has it taken away at the rim.
This interior defense from Utica is absolutely elite. They just don't make it easy at all. I don't even know how Morales and Flanagan had their layups made. Just an absolutely hard contest.
And on the other end, that size is certainly playing a factor. Damian Call goes right at Mike Jackson and makes it look easy.
I think the main concern now is, though, you don't want to have Morales with the center role, as, again, you don't want him in foul trouble. That would just make the whole day a lot more difficult. So a lot of thoughts in Coach Potts' head right now, I would assume, and a lot of question marks to address at halftime.
Coach Potts just won his first NJAC title. It's his second NCAA tournament appearance as Castles misses the 3. Sean Coffey, on the other hand, head coach for the Pioneers. This is his 4th career NCAA game. They've made appearances in each of the last 2 seasons. Gone 1-2 in that span. Foul's going to be given to Ryan Castles.
Add another foul to the list. Something that really has to be avoided. And all of a sudden, out of that timeout, CJ, Redhawks 1 for 4 in their last 4 attempts. And now into the bonus for the remainder of the half for Utica. A lot of free throws to come on the way.
1-1 here for Call. He misses the first. So a missed opportunity there, but still working the foul count. They'll be rewarded with free throws, especially as the half ticks down. Seven on the shot clock. Jackson wants to fire a 3. Rebound to the Pioneers. Jordan Kane. He's working on Flanagan. Has flashed that confidence early on today. It's Liam Teague who gets it back up top. Now Kane and Teague. It's going to be a Damian Call 3. Rattles in. Damian Call up to 11 points. And Utica a 2-possession lead. Oh, Morales got free from Teague. Put him on skates and then knocked it down in response.
Absolutely incredible from Morales. So calm, too, on the ball. And didn't even have to wait. Just decided, I'm going to take this one, step back, and shoot it right in your face. Great take.
24-22. We're starting to see things heat up a little bit as Teague, a baseline drive. Nice pump fake, freed himself up, and he knocks down a 2.
That was really solid defense, too. Kieran Flanagan came in to assist.
Morales, another 3. You can't leave that open.
It just falls so easy.
And now a turnover off the inbound. Here come the Redhawks. Jackson a 3. Shimon! Mike Jackson has put the Redhawks up. Timeout taken by the Pioneers.
Oh my goodness, what a run the Redhawks have been on, and a standing ovation in this gym. Absolutely deserved. You had the Jackson 3, a contested one, or excuse me, Morales contested 3, then Morales hit the open 3, and then Jackson corner 3. Let's take a look one more time.
Morales off the pick and pop. He's already up to 13 points on the day.
And just like that, one bucket. You see the Jackson 3. One bucket through roughly 8 minutes on the court from Jacob Morales. Don't worry, he caught right up in record speed. Cannot wait for this guy to come back next year as well. Don't forget, it regardless of today, it's not his last game as a Red Hawk. My goodness, 5 for 6 from the floor, 3 for 4 from 3, with 5 rebounds as well, leading the team in that category. Just all around doing a great job. And you said it before, almost playing like a center at times when there's not the other big men on the court. So he's doing a lot of things that is out of his comfort zone, but then the offense continues to just stay consistent.
2 straight possessions there where Jacob Morales able to get an open 3-ball look, and for him, those are almost automatic at this point, shooting 47.7% from beyond the arc, and that was make up for 60% of his shot attempts. And then finally, Montclair State, they generate the turnover that they desperately wanted to create. They want that chaos on the full court press, and now finally the Pioneers starting to play the Red Hawk game a little bit.
Yeah, they've had a couple. They've intercepted a couple turnovers as well. We have 9 total on the day. But again, for the Red Hawks, going down low is still a big struggle. And it looks like they're going to have Kunga Saring back on the court. So I want to see if they try to go low with him or they just have him down there to rebound. I wonder what the game plan is out of this timeout. You do have your first lead of the day.
So Morales does take a seat now. He's put a team lead 14 minutes out of a possible 16, so the rest somewhat deserved at this point. And another turnover. The full court press in full effect.
They do it so well, and they've mastered it. So has the women's team, and just absolutely amazing on defense. Just to try to lock them in that backcourt. Not many teams do it like the Red Hawks do. I'll say that much.
They will test the conditioning of their opposition every single night. Behind the back feed from Flanagan. And now he wants a 3. I believe ball hit a cable up top, so Pioneer basketball as they trail it by 2 with 3.5 minutes to go here in the first half.
Get to see that full court press once more.
And once again, forcing errors for the Pioneers. It will be a kicked ball, so possession will be returned to Utica. And now they're struggling to get the ball across half court.
You'll take that all day. Let's see if they can stop him.
Finally, they move it ahead with Dayon Thompson. Colin Jackson in the mid-range. Rebounded to Flanagan. It's Saring inside, missed the layup. Primus on the follow, no good. And then Primus gets whistled for his 3rd foul.
I think that was exactly what Coach Potts didn't want. I think he put in Goss and Primus with 4 minutes to go just so they don't pick up another foul before half. But going back to that last play with Kunga Saring down low, everything about that was the right idea. He did not make the layup, but Flanagan put it on a plate for him, and awesome defense from the Pioneers. But I do want to see them continue to attack that paint a little bit. Knock them, make them uncomfortable down there, and then you can really take over this game.
As a result of the foul on Primus, another 1-and-1 coming for the Pioneers, and Teague knocks down the first. Teague, 6'7", 225 pounds. He's going to be a mismatch all day from Montclair State. Last thing you want to do is give him some free points. He gets both.
I would assume Morales will guard him for the remainder of this one, assuming no further subs are put in.
Montclair State under 3 minutes to work with here. 28-28 in the round of 64. Flanagan through the middle. Underneath for Jackson, great feed. Couldn't finish it. And nice work from Call. He splits 2 defenders. Finds an open man. That's Isaiah Smith, the freshman guard, into the game for the first time now. Call on Sevis. Yet another height advantage. He's ripped by Flanagan and a foul. And the Redhawks not happy at all.
I think he did get the ball first, I think that's what Flanagan is protesting there, and so is Coach Potts. Again, though, you're playing at such a fast pace, it's really hard to see what is really going on. And real quick, actually, just want to, the women's basketball team won the game, 67-64. We were talking about it before, if they could hold on to that lead that they had. They did by just barely holding on to it, but again, earning themselves one more game potentially, at least in the NCAAs.
Wow,
congrats.
So an upset win for the Montclair State women's basketball team. They take down Christopher Newport, who was 26-1 coming into this point. Sevis going to be fouled there. A little bit of a Bronx cheer for the crowd.
Yeah, it was a nice play. I mean, the Redhawks got maybe that foul given right back to them. And now with 2 minutes to go, I just want to see if they can establish a little bit of a nice run going into the half. We know how it works. Me and you saw it for the final in the conference, or for the semifinal of the NJAC. They go into half with a little bit of confidence, and it works well for them.
Mike Jackson stepped out of bounds. No more fouls to give for the Pioneers. But no problem as they generate the turnover. Last time that Montclair State hosted a tournament game in this building, the national tournament game, I should say, back in 2003, the last time that they won the NJAC Conference Tournament, also the first year of the NJAC Conference Tournament. A lot of time in between games in this building. It was only 2 national tournament games ago for the Redhawks, though, so. Either way, it's good to be back. As a 3-ball, it's Ben Whitman. And now the Redhawks pushing the pace with Robertson. Got it in the foul. 3-point play coming for Ahmad Robertson. He can give the Redhawks the lead with a free throw.
Well, you're fortunate that, the Redhawks are fortunate that Utica didn't hit that open 3, but how about the response? I mean, Flanagan got the board, picked his head up, and Robertson was off to the races. That's what I love the most about Ahmad Robertson. Worked so hard off that ball, and he did the work before Utica could even track back, and that is why he's going to have the chance at a 3-point play here. Well done.
Ahmad Robertson, so quick and so bouncy as well.
No points in the NJAC final, but did well today so far.
Redhawks wanted to walk. Instead, it's a 3 from Foley, no good. 90 seconds in the first half. Sevis to Morales, the easy lay. Give him 15.
How do you stop him? Second in scoring for Montclair is at a 2-way tie right now with Flanagan and Robertson at 5 apiece. And as you mentioned, Morales with 15.
Nice work from Thompson. He freed himself for a jumper, but a little bit off balance. Couldn't get the roll. Montclair State a 3-point lead. Jackson from the baseline. Flanagan. He's working on Call. Now he kicks it to the corner. 3 seconds. Morales spins, puts it up, gets his own miss. Second chance. Robertson, no good. And they will once again corral the rebound with Flanagan.
Well done from Robertson there to not give up on it. Missed 2 shots, but got the 3rd rebound.
Morales, 1 pump, he swings it. Flanagan, 1 more. It's a Mike Jackson corner 3. Rebound to Foley. Hagan Foley running the floor, gets it to Thompson, who will back it out. 7 seconds to go. Foley doubled in the corner. Down low, Call, nice lay, it goes. And Montclair State will take a timeout with 1.6 on the clock before the half.
How did Foley make that pass? I mean, that was just an absolutely impossible play, but Mike Jackson right now really struggling, and he's the guy that really needs to come out in the second half and lock in here. 1 for 7 from the 3 line and 1 for 9 from the floor. What does that tell you? He took almost all 3-pointers, and that's what Coach Potts was saying to him on the way out on that timeout. missed a wide open three. It's very unlike him, but again, just got to stop forcing up these shots. You got to really play wise to go forward here, but I don't know. Utica on that last play just put it in almost as the clock went off.
I got to talk about Hagen Foley, who's matched Jacob Morales' total now and the game's leading scorer, both with 15. Excuse me, Damian Call, rather, with 15. .6, Montclair State, I guess perhaps wants a final look. It's going to be Flanagan from half court. It will count. And we will go to the half. Montclair State, a little bit of a shaky half for both teams, but they do lead it 33-32 in the first half of this first round of the national tournament.
What a half we have here. 1 point game going into it and absolutely electric so far. A lot of threes to go around, ton of fouls though for the Redhawks. Coming out in the second half, they have to limit these fouls, and I think Coach Potts has a lot of things to think about in the locker room now. Miles Primus and Cabrian Goss already had limited minutes to go because they got into foul trouble literally the second the game tipped off. And again, if I'm Coach Potts, I'm telling the team this right now. 6 for 21 from threes. Stop it. No more threes. Unless you have to. Don't force the three. I know the team loves to take three-point shots, and they are great at it. You saw the graphic in the pregame, but if I'm them, take a little bit of a break from that. Try something else. It's not going to be easy either to work down low, though, so something to think about from the coaching staff.
Montclair State in some foul trouble, shaky shooting. Despite all of that, they hold on to a 1 point lead as we head to the half. We will be back with you on the other side of the intermission from Panzer Athletic Center. Welcome back to Panzer Athletic Center. CJ Stanek alongside Luke Sirianni. Some first half action between the Montclair State Redhawks, the Utica Pioneers. Kind of a weird half because Montclair State not playing their best game, and yet somehow they still lead it. Yeah, it's been very entertaining for sure. A lot of back and forth basketball, fouls being the big part of trouble that these teams have faced, especially the Redhawks. And I want to see what they do in the second half in terms of rotation and what Coach Potts drew up in the locker room. For Utica, they're doing great. I mean, the game's so close right now, though. It's anybody's game. It's a little early to judge. Yeah, let's take a look at some of the highlights, the sights and the scenes from the first round. Montclair State back in their home building, and they started out, with the opening three. They set the tone at the beginning of the game, but the Pioneers a little bit from there, and then it was just back and forth. Yeah, this was the big three from Jordan Kane, and then this amazing fadeaway two from Jacob Morales, heavily contested on defense. Then we had the Damian Call three. A lot of three-pointers ringing around here. The Morales contested one. Morales, 15 points. He's 6 of 7 from the field today. Just been terrific. You see that Ahmad Robertson finish as well. Yeah, awesome highlight package for the first half. I mean, those are really some of the big plays. A lot of threes for the Redhawks. They got into a rhythm early on with the three-point shot, but as of late, it's been very cold. Yeah, you talked about the fouls a little bit. Something I want to mention. Look, 9 fouls there in the first half from Montclair State. 3 given to Miles Primus. What do you make of the decision to put him back into the game? He's already got 2 in the first half. You try to put him back in with a couple of minutes left. He picks up his third, and you lose another interior paint presence when you're already outmanned inside. Yeah, it was worst case scenario for sure. And
Coach Potts looked really disappointed when that happened. He only put him in for the last 4 minutes. But for right now, for Miles Primus, I don't know what they're going to do with him. Are you going to sit him most of the second half? I think you are. Until at least that 10-minute mark. Because right now he's only 2 fouls away from fouling out in his first NCAA game of his career. I mean, but again, other players have been, I think, rising to the occasion just a little bit. Ahmad Robertson's done a great job. Quante Rogers off the bench. Ryan Castles, although he hasn't scored yet, he's been doing other things, rebounding, assisting, has 1 steal. So, you know, it's all about managing the second half. Have the right guys on the court. Don't worry about fouls. Actually, yeah, worry about fouls. Don't overplay players that could foul out. You don't want to lose one of your starters for the rest of this game. Also, you want to make sure that, of course, you're managing that energy for tomorrow, assuming you take care of business today.
Yeah, that's another thing to consider, but at this point, you want to hope that you get to tomorrow, and you got to execute in order to continue your season and continue this run. Montclair State, their second NCAA tournament game in the last 20 years, and Utica on the other side playing in the tournament for the 3rd straight year for them. You see Rocky the Red Hawk fired up and excited as we are ready to begin here in half number 2. Montclair State in their home building have not lost since January 8th at Panzer Athletic Center. They will get another home game tomorrow should they win. And we will be back to cover that game on the Red Hawk Sports Network regardless of the winner. Underway here, half number 2. They try to feed it inside with Utica, and Devin Flynn, I believe he's going to get called for an offensive foul.
Not how they wanted to start this half, but now for the Red Hawks, let's see if they can get into a rhythm a little bit. I want to see Mike Jackson wake up a little bit. I'm not saying that to criticize him. We know what he's capable of, and such an important player in this NJAC conference, and could be his last game ever as a Red Hawk as well if they do not move on after today. I want to see him get into the rhythm.
Jackson 1 of 9 from the field. They certainly need to get him going. Ahmad Robertson on the floor here to start the second half as Primus continues to take a seat, and it's a turnover. Charging the other way is Hagen Foley, and he finishes with the layup.
Foley's always in the right place at the right time, and that time just taking off, separating himself from everyone else, and finishing it for 2.
So the Pioneers now take the lead quickly into half number 2. Mike Jackson trying to get out of that little bit of a rut. He misses, comes up short, but the offensive rebound from Flanagan, and then the finish from Robertson.
And that's why he's one of my favorites. He always plays through the whistle, and that time just getting the air ball caught and put it back up for something positive. He provides so much, and right now, I think with the foul troubles you've been facing, and you have a guard or 2 that are having issues with fouls, keep Ahmad Robertson in. He plays like a starter. You wouldn't even know he's a 6-man.
Nice defense there from Jackson. Missed the 3 on the other end, but nice work. And now Robertson with the steal. 2-on-1, Robertson and Jackson. It's Robertson to the cup, no good. Jackson, the 3rd try goes.
Ahmad Robertson taking over on this one. Now second in scoring for the Red Hawks with 7 points. 3 for 5 from the floor, executing every time he has a chance. And a nice steal.
So Robertson picking up the steal, missing the layup, but Jackson the finish. Montclair State leads it by 3. Nearly another turnover. The pass was deflected. It ends up in the hands of Damian Call. Call spinning his way inside. Quick move to the basket, but couldn't finish it. A string of defensive stops from Montclair State to open up the second half here. Flanagan backdoor as Jackson will just kick it back out. 10 on the shot clock. It's Goss, a mid-range for him.
Nice look there. Couldn't get the ball to go in that time, but I like the shot selection.
Offensive foul. Flynn gets his 3rd. And he will have to come out of the game.
So it's not just the Red Hawks that are in foul trouble. Their 5th-year center now taking a breath on the bench.
And that takes away somebody who's 6'6".
Still not the tallest on the team.
Morales pops up off a screen. He's working on call, lost it. To the hardwood he goes, and now Goss on the floor. He gets it to Flanagan. Flanagan, right-handed leg, got it, +1.
How in the world did they turn that into a positive play? I thought Morales was going to call a timeout, and then I thought Goss was going to call a timeout, and they somehow just moved it all the way around to the team captain, Kieran Flanagan. I mean, wow. Just an and one opportunity as well. Let's take a look at it one more time. Morales to Goss, and then I think he actually signaled for a timeout. I don't know if he meant to do that or his hands just were close together, but regardless, chance at a three-point play.
And a terrific finish from Kieran Flanagan. The free throw will get him up to 8 points. Flanagan, another one of those players potentially playing his last game, not only in this building, but as a Red Hawk. Trying to do everything to ensure that he is back here tomorrow and potentially beyond. Dayon Thompson is no good. Redhawks all of a sudden holding 6. Jackson wants another 3. It's a 9-point game. Much needed for Mike Jackson.
Him needing that is an understatement, CJ. I say a timeout called. Mike Jackson with a big-time 3. I'm surprised he's still going with the three-point shot, but you know what? He's doing a great job, and now I want to see if he can get into a rhythm. Montclair State have pulled away in the last few minutes. A 9-point game, their largest of the day, on a 10-0 run in the last 2 minutes and 49 seconds as well. Just best-case scenario. Let's take another look.
Mike Jackson, despite the rough first half, comes out and airballs his first shot of the second half. Nice response from him. And then Utica struggling to even inbound the ball after that. It has been all Montclair State here in the second half. A 10-0 run, and they now lead it by 9 points. A crucial timeout coming for the Pioneers.
They've looked more like themselves in the last few minutes. The three-point shot's going. They're moving the ball around. Everybody's on the same page. A couple times in the first half, I'm watching this team play, and I'm like, this is not the Redhawks I know. Out of the second half gate, they always show up big, and that's why I like to say they're a second-half team. They play great in the first half most of the time. It's just when they're in the second half, something about them, they're just dialed into a different level, and we see it right out of the gate again. I mean, just pulling away in not even 4 minutes of action here out of the gate for second half.
Yeah, it has been all Montclair State, as we have said. These two teams, what can the Pioneers do differently? Do you think it's more of a mental thing at this point, or you don't let it snowball, or is there strategically something that they must do?
I think it's a mixture of frustration from the fouls, Devin Flynn with 3 already, and just a couple other things. It looks like almost that they've softened up on defense. It's like they've taken a step back, and I don't know, that aggressive Utica defensive team I saw in the first half, it's just, for me, it's missing a little bit right now.
Utica just 2 timeouts left at their expense. So gonna really need to figure things out on this one right here. They trail it by 9. And right away, Kane is doubled. But nice pass from him. He gets it ahead to Foley. Scoreless. Now in their last 3 minutes, they'll throw it away again. Another turnover for the Pioneers.
And not only defensively, offensively too. What is going on with them? It's just they're turning over the ball. Their shot selections have gotten less wise. I don't know what it is with them right now. I think you need just a timeout. And I know you just came out of one, but I don't know. Something's wrong with them right now. It's got to fix soon.
Kunga Sering the layup. The lead is to double figures.
Flanagan just dropped that perfectly for Sering, and all of a sudden now letting up on defense too.
In the first half, the Pioneers so fluid, so polished. There's a Kane 3, and it's rebounded by Jackson. The wheels have come off in these last couple of minutes. Jackson. It's a feed inside. Quante Rogers scrapes the rim for two. Kunga Sering with a beautiful feed.
We have two different teams right now, especially Utica. They do not look like a team that has won 10 straight right now.
Foley through the middle. Thompson, Euro step over Flanagan. Another miss. Another defensive stand. Montclair State looking to push it. Goss up top for Sering. Mistimed it.
We said before, this crowd needs to wake up a little bit. That one almost did.
It's a corner three and it goes down. Ryan McCardle, just what the doctor ordered.
Much needed. Scoreless in their last 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes, and that time snapping it in a big moment.
Sering the pump. Now the drive. They will wave the shot off. They'll say it's on the floor.
Sering was going for that dunk. We all know that, but awesome defense, and the foul slowed them down a bit. Now we're going to see almost a full group change. I think 4 guys will step in after this timeout. And for that three hit just now by McCardle, they needed it so bad. I mean, that was just a play that needed to go their way.
We will be back right after this from Panzer Athletic Center.
Passion's love. Passion is love for what you do. Because I think when you face challenges, it comes down to how much you want it and how much you love it. Passion is what keeps you going forward. Seeing so many people that were like-minded and so hardworking in their sport and academics, being surrounded by like-minded people makes you want to be more passionate. I think it pushes you to a different level that maybe you didn't think you had. And you can do the best of both worlds and love all of it.
We are back here at Panzer Athletic Center on the campus of Montclair State University. The Montclair State Redhawks, a 10-point lead here in the second half. They have come out with fire, and they have imposed their will on this Utica Pioneers team. A double-digit lead and a big timeout right here as both of these teams look to talk it over.
Yeah, almost asserting their dominance right out of the gate for the second half, and this is what we were kind of anticipating and or hoping that would happen. Going back to conference play really fast for Montclair State, this kind of reminds me a bit of the TCNJ game in the semifinals. It was very close throughout, and there was a lot of sloppy basketball early on, but then something in the second half just turned on for Montclair State, and we know how that story ended. They won that game, then won the NJAC final. Something about the Redhawks in the second half basketball, it's working out really well for them right now.
Redhawks still shooting under 40% from the field, and yet they lead it by 10. Good defensive efforts.
Less shooting, too. More driving to the hoop.
So out of the timeout, a three from Utica led to this point. Got it down to 10. See if they can build off that momentum. They'll need a stop first. It's Miles Primus, his first action of the second half. He comes up short on a corner three. Pioneers uncharacteristic through the first 5 minutes of half number 2. Liam Teague from the perimeter. He's doubled, he spins, hook shot, drops.
Made it look easy that time. What a finish from Teague. Had a season high 22 in the playoffs versus Nazareth in conference play.
Sevis the turnover. Foley thought about the three. Teague on Morales. Gets by him. Tries to put it up, no good, and then the tip off the mark. I believe we're going to have a foul here on Montclair State.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you're dealing with the 6'7" Liam Teague. I mean, just not much you could do on defense. He is taller than everybody on the court right now. And Morales tried to help. Henry Myers was in on it as well, but not enough to stop the tallest player on the floor.
Teague, he hits the first. Up to 7 points now for him. And limited action off the bench, just 10 minutes so far. But with Devin Flynn in some foul trouble, we expect to see more of him on the floor. And especially, as you can see, the way that Montclair State is struggling to handle him.
Two team captains back into the game, Mike Jackson and Kieran Flanagan.
All of a sudden, a 6-point game now. Off the heels of a 7-0 run from Utica. Feels as though they've gotten their confidence back a little bit. Goss gets it to Morales. Morales, and now Flanagan. Flanagan with 5. Morales, pump, 1 step to the right. Shot no good. And then Flanagan's gonna get hit with a foul as Teague came down with the rebound.
That was one Morales usually will knock down, but it's normal to miss sometimes. Only his second three-pointer missed today. Actually, his second shot attempt missed today.
Normal to miss sometimes unless you're Jacob Morales, who has come on, especially toward the end of the season, really taken over as that lead scorer. The Rutgers transfer. Still no points in the second half for him. Here's a turnover, and Montclair State has a chance to get working in transition. Flanagan plants the feet and kicks it out. Goss, wraparound pass. Morales, 1 dribble, and the hook shot is good.
The layup was decent, but the pass from Goss, I mean, just pretty, hooking it around a defender. Montclair going to lock him in here. They're going to try at least.
And that ball going out of bounds now makes a stationary inbound, so especially down in that corner with the bench, this will be a tough play. So try to get it across midcourt. Nice passing from the Pioneers. Foley whips it to Call with the layup.
What a pass there, just thrown at a crazy velocity to get down low.
A Jackson 3 splash.
Mike Jackson feels like he's back into this game. And
Morales and Goss run into each other. Jackson actually ended up hitting the floor. And we'll have another foul call. Montclair State, they avoided those whistles the first couple of minutes here of the half, but now the foul's starting to catch up.
Hope Jackson's all right. He's gotten into a rhythm as of late. Last couple possessions, and it's been the story with Mike Jackson. I've said it multiple times, but there's games where he comes out slow, and then the second half happens, and he just ends up back into it. He's got 11 points to his name. He went into the half with 3, so you're talking about 8 points in the second half in under 9 minutes, so very impressive. And for the Redhawks, you know, back up to that very comfortable lead they had earlier, 9 points.
Yeah, the Pioneers responded very nicely out of those couple of timeouts that we saw. Got it down to 6, and then a 3 from Montclair State will put it back to 9. As you see Mike Jackson coming through and up to double digits, a kind of a sneaky performance today. He's rebounded fairly well as well, coming through in different ways, and they sure hope that he's okay now as they go to the huddle. Another timeout being used, and for Montclair State, you know, on their end, I feel like they responded very nicely. They didn't let that lead start to diminish. You see the 7-0 run, and how do you respond? You continue working with what works. You get it out to the three-point line, and you start to find those shots start to go down a little bit more, Luke.
And again, they've had some rough cards dealt to them early on in the game with the foul trouble of a few of their starters, but you're right. They didn't let it get to them. They've been on a roll. Their offense has been clicking well out of the gate in the second half, and a very, very different type of game so far that they've played in these first 9 minutes of half number 2. Just seems like a new, refreshed Red Hawk team. And for Utica, aside from a couple plays like that, the Hagan-Foley pass, not really much that they've done so far to kind of match that energy.
Luke, let's look at the offensive rebound numbers. Montclair State 11 and Utica 1. For a team that is outmatched pretty much game in and game out with size, the Red Hawks sure have found a way to deal with it, and it clearly shows that rebounding is hard over height. Up top is Collin with the right hand. How did he do it?
I'm asking myself the same thing. I think he meant to one-hand dunk it, but the pass was a little too high. He still made it work, no problem.
19 now for Damian Call, as he tries to get Utica back into this. Jackson from underneath, and we will have a foul.
Mike Jackson to the free throw line. The hand is hot. Keep on feeding him. He was second in the NJAC final with 25 points versus Ramapo, trailing Morales, who had 28, but between two guys, I mean, you got 52 points combined between two players. It's really hard to beat them. And right now, looking like Morales and Jackson are adding up to a nice solid number as well.
Jackson hits the first. Mike Jackson, 16 points in the first round loss 2 years ago to Hamilton College, who we actually just saw in the first game of the doubleheader here. And now he comes up with a steal off the missed free throw. It's Morales a three. Off the catch and shoot. Not sure if somebody got a hand on it or not. It comes up well short. Call, nice kick to the corner. A Foley three. Flanagan hits the deck. It's Montclair State basketball. He threw it off of Ryan McCardle. Another heads-up play from Kieran Flanagan.
Wow, what a play. He was parallel to the floor. I want to see this one more time if we could. Kieran Flanagan provides so much effort off the ball, and I've seen him this year call a timeout in midair. I've seen him dive into the crowd to save basketballs, and now we saw him just make another acrobatic play to keep it in bounds. Absolutely amazing from the captain.
8 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists from Flanagan.
And always a well-rounded stat line, too. He's never dominating in one particular category. He dabbles into a little bit of every part of the game.
Now trying to mix it in on offense. He gets his man in the air and then scoops it through.
Like that, just makes it look easy.
Flanagan now into double digits, and the lead back into double digits. Corner three from McCardle. In and out.
Redhawks up by 10. No reason to rush here.
Midway through the second half. And it's Jackson off the give and go from Morales. What a pass. And it's finished it off with a deuce. Lead now to 12. Thompson gets it to Foley. Teague wants a three. And it's rebounded by Goss. Jackson.
Really fast release there. Looked like he was in a rush on the three. But I do love the idea. His hand's been red hot as of late.
Foul as McCardle goes down. Another 2-minute drought here for the Pioneers. These points have just been so hard to come by.
I like the substitution choice here. You have Kunga Saring to deal with Devin Flynn, and then Ahmad Robertson, who's earned every second he's got on the floor so far with 7 points. Fourth in scoring.
Saring only 5 minutes today, but feels like every single one of these possessions, he's worked hard defensively, and he's eliminated the paint. Thompson trying to work past Sivas. Now he bodies up. He's got 2 men on him. He puts it up. Got it in the foul. Wow.
I thought Sivas took an elbow on that down post, and that's what he's saying too. But earning an and one opportunity right now for Utica. They need something, and honestly, every possession, they're just holding on to this one. Chance now to only be down by 10 if they can knock this one in.
Rogers came for the double as Sivas was already tightly guarding Thompson. Spins and puts it up over both of them through the contact on the jumper. And he finishes the three-point play.
You're talking about a guy that's been 1 for 7 on the day, who's been Utica's best player this year. The Redhawks really prepared for their top scorer on how to defend them and shut him down so far.
It's Kunga Saring. Oh, he missed the jam. Pass is deflected and taken by Jackson. 2-on-1. Jackson bounce pass. Saring, second try is good.
Kunga Saring loves to dunk. He missed the first one, but he had one more try, and he's like, I'm not going to mess this one up. I got you. Nice pass from Jackson as well. Snake eye pass, no look.
Gets the redemption. Now it's another 3 from Thompson. I believe Castle's going to get hit with a foul on the rebound.
Not much he could do on that one to prevent that play. But Kunga Sering, he tried to slam it so hard the first time too. It's why it just popped out. But second time he went in a little more strategically.
Yeah, a little bit of a safer dunk. First one would have been exclamatory. And now Sering, active hands. He'll have another breakaway. Let's see what we have in store here. Kunga Sering is stripped on his way to the rim. Nice defensive play from Damian Call, and they're going to give it to the Pioneers.
A little too fast on that play, but got to give credit to Damian Call to turn on the Jets to chase him down. I think Kunga thought he had a breakaway early on that steal.
Terrific recovery from Call, who continues to keep Utica in this game. You've seen the offensive production and now the defense. Foley. In the corner, Kane. Kane right at Jackson, swatted. Terrific defense from Mike Jackson. It's Red Hawk basketball.
He has turned around his whole performance in a matter of minutes. Jackson waiting until the last second to poke his hand in there, but did it on purpose. He wanted to wait for a clean attempt, and he got that ball right down the middle.
8 to go here in the round of 64. Flanagan on the drive, kicks it. It's another Jackson 3, good! Mike Jackson is feeling it here in the second half. Give him 17 on the night, Luke.
He caught Morales. Now they're both tied. 34 points combined between the two. And every time you combine those two points from those two players and you put it on the board, you're looking at a majority of the points here. Mike Jackson has turned it around, just shooting in the best possible way. A 5-0 run for the Red Hawks in the last minute and a half. And every time Utica responds with 1 or 2 baskets, the Red Hawks add double the amount. And that has been the story to their lead so far, up to 12 points.
So Montclair State now a 14-point lead as we have yet another timeout. Following the foul call on the floor, you see the first drive from Sering here. Fun little moment here. Jackson comes up with the steal, and he knows Sering wants that back. And that is just a testament to the tale of two halves from Montclair State today. Not their best basketball, but the second time around.
Second time's the charm.
They've been able to right their wrongs here as they continue to hold on to this lead. And the way that they have fended off the Pioneers' runs and attempts to get back into this game, it's just been very, very impressive. They haven't let that momentum start to avalanche.
No, they haven't. And as mentioned before, it's been a team effort, but got to give credit to Mike Jackson. I talked about it going into half. He's the guy that needs to be the difference here out of the gate, and he has. It's an understatement, honestly. 14 points in the second half so far, and we're halfway through it, so he's not even done just yet. This team has done it all. And now Utica also, another stat I want to point out, Utica 13 turnovers to Montclair's 8. Montclair led in turnovers given the whole first half, but Utica has well surpassed it. That's due to some great defense from Montclair State as well.
As a result of the turnovers and the rebounding numbers as well, Montclair State has taken 19 more shots than the Pioneers.
Kunga Sering, too, has done so much in that little run that he had on defense, too.
Just feel like he's always involved, whether it be defensively or on the other end of the floor. We, of course, know what he's capable of with his size, and he's putting it to use. They'll start with Thompson at the line for 1 and 1. The Pioneers now in the bonus. He hits the first. You mentioned it, Thompson has struggled to get it going. Before that and 1 on the jumper just a few minutes ago. 0 points on the day. Now he's up to 5.
Slowly building himself up.
They're going to need him down the stretch here. Nice feed as Morales. Flanagan to Jackson. Rebound to Robertson, right back up. 2 points for the Red Hawks.
Robertson has arguably been the second or third most crucial player today. Always finishing on the follow-up shot from his teammates, and That's the second putback rebound he's had today on offense. Keep it up. Those points add up fast.
Thompson and Flanagan isolated in the paint. It rolls off the rim. And that will be a foul in the open floor given to Kane. Last foul to give for the Pioneers. The winner will play tomorrow evening. 5:45 tip is set. Back in this building, they will play Western New England, who took down Hamilton College just a couple of hours ago. Goss had himself open. He's got 3 on the shot clock, tries to step through the lane and draws another foul. We'll see if it's in the act of shooting or not.
I don't think it was, but Goss is fortunate that he got fouled in the process there. I don't think he had a clean look at a basket if there was no contact, but we're not talking about hypotheticals here, so he earns a trip to the line. Second in team assists this season, passes the ball around so well, and not scoring much as a freshman, but also scored 9 in the NJAC final. I mean, just that's a lot of points for Cabrian Goss, and that bumped his average up just a little bit. He comes up big in big moments all the time, and he's grown so much throughout the year.
Goss, the NJAC Rookie of the Year, started to find more and more confidence. He's used to playing in big games. You look back, the Philadelphia Catholic League Championship last season, the buzzer beater game winner in the final at the Palestra at Penn University. After 1 for 2, here comes Utica, driving as Kane, and he missed it. 6.5 in between Montclair State in the second round. They'll turn it over. Just 4 made three-pointers on the day for Utica College. Foley, nice work on Morales. He gets all the way to the cup in the finger roll.
Foley's had one amazing game today, into double-digit figures now in scoring.
He's up to 11. He's gone quiet in the second half, but a big basket right there. Jackson and Morales on the pick and roll. Pass was deflected. They'll say right now it's with Montclair State, and I believe they will overturn that call. The officials coming in to correct that.
Redhawks with a 13-point lead, 5.5 left to go. And you wonder if they keep things up right now, will they have this game sealed up?
They need some defensive stops. It's Foley. Early on in the shot clock, he misses the 3.
No defense anywhere near Foley, but he couldn't knock down the open one.
Goss tried to get it to Primus. And yet another turnover. Montclair State, they're starting to pile up.
$15 seconds on that shot clock.
Teague, a pump fake and a drive. The right-handed layup, it goes. And a timeout on the floor. Montclair State will look to talk it over, and we will be back right after this.
I believe sportsmanship is it's a mutual admiration and respect for your fellow competitors. We all go through a lot to reach the point where we compete against one another. It's important to realize that. So once we're finally on the field or on the court or on the starting block, we look at each other as fellow human beings and not just competitors. Being able to recognize the hard work that other athletes are putting in creates a more positive and inclusive environment.
So Montclair State, an 11-point lead here on their home floor. What do they have to do to close this game out, Luke?
Just keep doing everything you've been doing. Go to the hoop, drive, have a variety of different shots. I think they've only went for threes early on, and that's where the struggles came.
Yeah, Montclair
right now, whoever's on the court, those 5, Coach Potts, I think, has found the right rotations for the rest of the game.
There was a lot of feeling out there in the first half. 12 different guys saw the floor in those first 10 minutes or so. All of a sudden, I believe they now know what's working. They've kind of stayed out of the foul trouble for the most part. No guys with 4. And from here on out, it's all about controlling things the rest of the way and really just limiting the mistakes.
Everything is playing into their hands right now.
We've seen some turnovers on previous possessions, and I believe that's why Coach Potts wanted to call a timeout. Nearly a turnover here, and they're going to get a whistle and a foul. Jackson went down hard as he pops back to his feet. And I believe they're going to call it on Kane.
Most definitely a foul, just I think a little too early.
They're actually going to give it to Foley.
They got there just half a second early, but I understand they're trying to intercept it. I think just a little too much contact, and they're over the bonus, so Jackson will have a trip at the line.
That's big, as Montclair State is coming up on 2 minutes without a point. They'll have a chance for some free ones right here. So it's Jackson for 1-1. Knocks it down. That'll give him 18 and the team lead.
Take a look at that replay one more time. I think they had the call right. Not a lot of contact, but on the hand and arm right before that ball was there. That's against the rules.
1 of 2 for Mike Jackson. 12-point game. Pioneers need to get it going right now. Jordan Kane trying to get it started with a 3. They end up with the turnover after Flanagan went down. Kane puts it up, and he will shoot 2.
Flanagan there, I don't know if he lost his footing or got a little tripped up. But just something now to shrug off. We'll take a look at it one more time. And they called a shooting foul on Kieran Flanagan, against Kieran Flanagan, I should say.
Kane misses the first. Can't give away points like this so late in the game.
Not at all, especially not free throws. It's the last thing you want to do.
1 of 2 for Jordan Kane.
13 free throws have been made by Utica. That adds up. That keeps this game really close. Compared to Montclair's only 5 made free throws.
Yeah, they've still done a good job overall from the free throw line. As they feed it to Primus. Primus, one more, and it's an easy layup for Jacob Morales. Nice ball movement from Montclair State.
Golden State Warriors ball movement right there. Everybody just catching and moving and linking up perfectly.
Back to 13. The drive, it's taken away from Isaiah Smith. And Goss draws the foul.
Got to give it to Cabrian Goss right there. Very wise. He saw Isaiah Smith attacking him from behind, and he just took one step to the right, knew the contact was going to hit, and took it. Did not flop, got pushed to the ground, but again, wise basketball from Cabrian Goss to see the pressure and position himself in the right spot to draw it.
Yeah, nice work. He was able to keep him on his back hip. Kawhi Leonard-esque.
And tell me if I'm wrong, CJ. I feel like he's just a little bit better. He gets slightly better in every game. Early in the season, he would have that ball a lot, and he would rush with it, try to do too much, and he would lose it. All of a sudden, the turnovers from Goss, they disappeared.
Yeah, I know you're 100% right. You really start to see him settle in more at the collegiate level. Coach Potts, he knew it in the beginning of the season. He knew there was some learning to be done. But by keeping him on the court, that's where you're able to grow. And now he's starting in the first round of the tournament as a freshman. Mike Jackson misses the 3. And a nice rebound from Morales as he got it to Primus. Montclair State can continue to run that clock.
What a pass there from Kieran Flanagan.
Flanagan, it's Primus down low. Primus no good. And another offensive rebound. Jackson the teardrop.
Full throttle right now for the Red Hawks. They cannot be stopped. Every offensive attack, they just finish it for 2. And they could almost feel their ticket punched for the next round.
Kane missing the three. It's a 16-point Red Hawk lead with 3 minutes to play. Goss is fouled once again. And it's a Red Hawk runaway here at Panzer.
Again, following the trend that they've had throughout the season, it's been a very similar one. The same second half separation that they provide for themselves. It's just so impressive to me. They turned it on in the right moments. And again, in the first half, it was choppy, a lot of sloppy basketball. There were points in the game where they're like, they might not do it tonight. But right now, 3 minutes exactly on the clock. Let's take a look at the replay one more time.
Just terrific ball movement all around. The feed to get it to Flanagan, and then you get it down low. Primus, one more for Morales. It's that selfless basketball that has just allowed Montclair State to flourish, even when they're not necessarily having their best day shooting. They are now over 40% from the field, but it allows those open opportunities, and if one guy's not having a good night, their next guy can pick him up.
Yeah, that's really how it's been so far. Next man up, and again, the two freshmen, Miles Primus and Cabrian Goss, who got into foul trouble early on too. They've laid off as well. No fouls. They've been on the court a good amount of time. That last few drives that they've had, they've been on the court most of the time and playing really strong on defense, wise basketball on offense, and limiting the fouls. Right now, no foul outs today, which I was very surprised how this game started. I was thinking we might have at least one Red Hawk foul out. That hasn't been the case.
Luke, something I want to bring up that you mentioned there at the half. So we looked at the numbers, and Montclair State, with 21 threes taken there in the first half, obviously weren't shooting to their standard. They've taken just 9 here in the second half now. So clearly learning to attack the paint. They now have 36 points in the paint. It's an impressive number given the circumstances.
I feel like it was just common sense, and I'm sure Coach Potts told them too. They just needed to stop shooting threes for a little bit, and look how it's played out for them. And they've taken less threes, and they've had more success with less threes. So, it's all about finding your rhythm, and right now Montclair State have done just that.
Goss, the first free throw. Lead up to 17 now. Redhawks out-rebounding the Pioneers 43-29 with 14 offensive rebounds. They've allowed just 1. And in a game where we see a discrepancy with size, they have flipped the script. Goss splits a pair. Flanagan feeds to Primus. He'll stay with Montclair.
Got to give credit to Damian calling that play. Last minute, just popping his hand in there to deny the pass to Primus. But the Redhawks in no rush. They have possession again, 18 seconds on the clock. Let it tick all the way down. Time is your best friend right now.
They will do just that. 2.5 minutes on the clock. Now it's Goss. He finds himself open. And another offensive rebound. That's number 15. Around the horn to Goss. To Primus. Throws it down.
These two are going to get to know each other really well over the years. They got 3 more seasons together, and they've already linked up so well this season, CJ. Second nature, as we see Francisco Paulino head to the middle.
The Red Hawk version of the victory formation.
If you're unaware and a new Red Hawk fan, Francisco Paulino is a guy who was 1A, 1B, most important players for this team last year. Was supposed to miss the whole season due to a tear in his body, but has slowly made a comeback onto the court. And, it's gonna be his last season, so it's nice to see him step on the court a little bit. Almost an Aaron Rodgers type of recovery. Just very impressive. The speed he's been able to get back up on his feet on.
Full line change as the Montclair State starters head to the bench.
Victory formation, you said it.
It's a 20-point lead. They led by 1 at the half. And in the corner, it's Luis Armas, the three. Now the other way, Utica. Some bench players on the floor in their own right. Flynn spins and puts it in. Timeout taken. And I believe this is going to be for some substitutions here, and the Utica players now checking out, some for the final time.
Yeah, ovations for the seniors. Take a look at that replay one more time. Das, no look. What a slam.
Freshman to freshman. You see Utica on the bench there. These players embracing for the final time. Devin Flynn, a senior. Damian Call, a grad student. And Hagen Foley, also a senior. So some big contributors. A nice moment for them as Paulino. He'll be playing tomorrow, but why not celebrate tonight? And he ends up with it off the deflection. Under a minute to go. Paulino again. Got it.
Awesome. Love to see it. He did that all day last year when he was healthy. Right now, back-to-back buckets for him and a steal.
A cool moment. A starter last season, a leader this season, first and foremost.
Yeah, he was supposed to be an honorary member of the coaching staff, a student helper. I was told by Coach Potts the night before their season opener, but turns out he's more than a coach. He's still a player of this team. Happy he's on the court and showing off that smile.
Shot clock is unplugged. The Redhawks will dribble it out. A terrific second half performance today. Montclair State came alive. And they have a date with Western New England tomorrow. The Redhawks are moving on to the round of 32. A 22-point victory. And an outstanding second half performance, both defensively and then on the offensive end. They bury the Utica Pioneers and bring an end to their season.
Mike Jackson led the way with 20 points, 17 second half points. Absolutely amazing. For Utica, though, Damian Call had a really good game with 19. And how about the women's team and the men's team, CJ, bouncing off of each other, one following the other. The women won today, so did the men. Both won the NJAC. They're both going to have another dance here in NCAAs. As you look at the replays, some of the best plays from the game. The Jacob Morales fadeaway, the Damian Call corner three, the breakaway to Robertson, and one opportunity. Another corner three. The Mike Jackson three ball. The Jackson no look, Kunga Saring bucket.
And that play, more than any other, really just kind of told the story. Obviously, you see the exclamation point there with Primus. Very special day for these Redhawks. But the Kunga Saring pair of dunks there where he missed the first one, and then they generate the turnover. They pick somebody up, and they pick up their teammate, get it back to Saring, and the second chance goes down. It really just felt like that was very symbolic of the way that this day went for Montclair State. They will move on, and not their best basketball there in the first half, but they pulled together. They played team basketball first and foremost, and a 22-point victory at the end. I mean, wow.
Just an exclamation point. And the way that they finished that game, you mentioned, that's so impressive. They really wanted to continue, and a lot of these seniors and graduates earned another game. So one game at a time, and now, luckily, they will be playing tomorrow night.
Montclair State on their home floor, they get another victory. Thank you so much. The Red Hawk Sports Network and on NCAA.com. CJ Staniak alongside Luke Sirianni, our entire Red Hawk Sports Network crew. We'll see you tomorrow for the second round of the NCAA tournament.